If you all wouldn't mind, humor me with a question. What does a normal day look like for you? Is it waking up early and hitting the gym? Is it getting up early to get to work or school on time? Is it going out with your friends and family, the people you love? Or is it talking into a microphone for an online audience on a digital platform? Well, regardless of what a normal day is for you, imagine that in the middle of that perfectly normal day, everything changes. You're minding your own business until the world just glitches. Every screen in your room, in your home, in your neighbor's home, your school, your job, your TVs, your computers, and phones all seem to get hacked all at once. And amidst all the chaos, you are given one clear message. You are a bug. It seems like the mother of all cyber attacks just happened, and you can't help but wonder who is responsible for it and why. But then you see something more alarming than the glitches on your phone, the mysterious messages. You look up into the sky when you go outside and see an eye peering down at you, and it becomes clear that whoever did this, whoever hacked your phone, hacked the world. Whoever they are, whatever they are, is much bigger than you. Or are they? This is one of the issues tackled in the three-body problem that came out recently a few weeks ago on Netflix. It's based off of a book series, and the showrunners for this new Netflix show are also the same ones responsible for Season 8 of Game of Thrones.
Danny kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet and Euron's forces. They certainly haven't forgotten about her.
I will never let that go, by the way, but to give credit where credit is due, Benioff and Weiss did do a good job when it came to the early seasons of Thrones. And it seems they've done a good job here when it comes to the three-body problem as a TV show. As an adaptation, though, I do not know because I haven't read the books for this series. But from what I've seen so far, it is pretty good. The three-body problem asks you a very simple question. What would you do when the odds are truly stacked against you? When the human spirit is finally faced with what seems to be the cruelty of the universe? When you're shown just how small you are in comparison to whatever else is lurking out there, what will you do? Will you give up and wait to die? Will you kneel and succumb to this overwhelming presence in hope of something better coming along? Or will you fight with everything you have and with all you can? Because small or not, your life has meaning, and no one gets to dictate whether or not you get to survive. The three-body problem tackles the dark forest theory. If you don't know what that is exactly, the dark forest theory essentially states that the universe functions like a forest. When you go into the woods, or just nature in general, the idea that you are truly alone is preposterous. This was something communicated in the show as well.
In nature, nothing exists alone.
In nature, even if you aren't surrounded by other people like you, there are still things lurking out there in the forest. Animals, insects, things you may not see or hear but still reside there all the same. The dark forest theory says that this is how the universe works. There are other civilizations out there in the universe, but like in the forest, to avoid drawing the attention of potential threats, they stay silent in the name of self-preservation. And the three-body problem revolves around a war that has yet to be fought between two races over one planet. Our race, the humans, and our enemies, the Santi. The Santi are an advanced alien race, light years away, whose home suffers from what is called a three-body problem. Their home is essentially trapped between the gravitational pulls of three different stars. This practically makes their home planet uninhabitable as the forces cause so much damage. The Santi refer to these damaging periods of their home as chaotic eras, and in order for their people to survive, they need to find a solution to their three-bodied problem. But there's a problem. There isn't one. In 1966, a woman named Ye Wen-je watches as her father, a physicist whose ideas go against the Communist Party that has taken over, is prosecuted and humiliated in front of the masses. In an act of discipline gone too far, they end up killing him. And since she was his daughter and his best student, Ye ends up arrested and is forced to work at a communist labor camp. Later on, she actually gets imprisoned again for reading a book from the West that has ideas the CCP doesn't like. But despite her refusal to conform to the new system, they don't want to waste her brilliant mind. She is a physicist, and because of that, they put her to work on the top-secret Red Coast Project, a project with the goal of contacting life beyond the Earth. During her time here, she meets a man named Mike Evans, and like her, Mike has seen the ugliness of humanity firsthand, how they tear down the world around them for their own profits and greed. This shared mindset, this loss of faith in their own people, caused them to be accomplices later on. When Ye is at work, the Red Coast Project actually gets results. After using the suns as a mean to amplify their messages to space, she gets a response from the Santee. The one that receives her message claims to be a pacifist and that she should not respond, because if she did, the Santee would find out and come conquer Earth. But after seeing how terrible humanity can be, killing and ostracizing each other for having different ideas, tearing down the environment and wiping out entire ecosystems, she no longer has faith that the human race can provide for itself. So not only does she respond, she invites the Santee to Earth, saying that she will help them conquer this world. From here, years later, she gets in league with Mike Evans, who devises a way to communicate with the Santee that won't take them years. And it's through Evans that the Santee learn about Earth and its people, the things we do, how we talk, the stories we make, the lies we tell. You see, the Santee need to come to Earth, because unlike their home planets, Earth doesn't have a three-body problem. The Earth is stable, so to make sure they are accepted by the people, they send out these very futuristic VR headsets via Mike Evans to some of the brightest minds in the world to test them, to see if they have sympathy for the Santee and can understand their problems and join the ranks of Mike Evans to welcome them to Earth. One of the candidates for this is a woman named Jin. With the help of her friend Jack Rooney, aka Samwell Tarly, the first man to kill a White Walker, they actually figure out the three-body problem has no solution. The concern isn't saving the planet, but its people. Having passed the test, they are invited to meet with the Santee. During this meeting, the Santee detailed the struggles of their home planet and how the three-body problem makes it impossible for them to live there. So it's imperative that they find a new home. Jin can relate and sympathize because when she was a child, her home was destroyed in a flood and her parents died. But Jack still thinks it's all one big game and refuses to acknowledge any of this is real. This results in a woman named Tatiana killing him later on. But the real crazy part of this, outside of the murder, is seemingly how she just erases herself from the scene of the crime. On video, it looks like some divine act, but in reality, it's just technology. The Santee are advanced enough that they can affect Earth without even being there. By using these things called sophons, which are basically sentient supercomputers, they can scrub videos clean. They can disrupt technology worldwide and even make it look as if the universe can wink. And this is how the Santee disrupt science on Earth. By using these sophons, they can make the laws of physics, as we know them, seem wrong. And by using these sophons, they can kill science. You see, the Santee are actually afraid of humanity. Despite expressing a wish to coexist with us at one point, they fear human progress. It will take them 400 years to actually get to Earth, and with the way humanity seems to progress and evolve much faster than they did, they fear that by the time they arrive, humanity will have surpassed them and now have the ability to stop them from integrating onto their world. In order to stop this, they want to cripple Earth, and to do that, they attack our brightest minds. One of the first problems introduced in the series is that scientists around the world are dying for unknown reasons, and it all seems to be self-inflicted. Either they die or they end their work prematurely. One of the victims is Augie Salazar, one of our main characters. She's working on these revolutionary nanofibers that are invisible to the naked eye, lighter than air but also stronger than steel. One day when she's out with her friend Jin, she starts seeing a countdown. The same countdown that seems to be associated with all these dead scientists. She has no idea what it means until she meets a woman named Tatiana, the same woman who killed Jack. But that happened episodes later. She knows about the countdown and tells Augie that if she wants it to stop, she has to end her work on the nanofibers, because
Nothing good ever happens at zero.
this is something that could be used against the Santee one day. So they want it gone. And after going in a few episodes, it's not hard to see why they felt threatened by this. Episodes later, Augie actually helps the government attack Mike Evans. They attack his ship using her nanofibers. They're like these invisible blades that just cut through the ship like it's butter, and the sheer carnage that happens as a result is mind-boggling. So it's very clear why the Santee would want something like this out of the way. But things only get worse from here. After learning from Evans that humans lie, an ability that the Santee don't seem to possess, they no longer want to coexist with Earth. Believing they can't trust a species that has the ability to lie, they now want to conquer the Earth as a whole. This leads to them abandoning some of their followers. This is how Mike Evans gets killed by Augie because the Santee aren't backing him up anymore. And this also leads to Ye Wen-je, who is much older at this point and working with Mike Evans, getting captured by the police. Even after all these years, Mike and Ye have been working together to ensure the Santee succeed in their conquest of Earth. They even have a daughter together named Vera. But neither Vera or Mike knew that they were actually related until Ye got careless in her conversations with Mike. Vera found out the truth of who her father was and what her parents were planning, which caused her to take her own life as a result. It also seems Vera had some influence on the Santee's test. Not to say that she helped make it, but one of the characters in the test, known as Follower, seems to be modeled after a young Vera Ye. In all honesty, it's a shame to see what became of Ye Wen-je all these years later. She essentially became the very thing that she hated, blindly believing and following an idea that got people killed who were deemed as a threat to it, like her father was. And even after this ended up getting her daughter killed, she still followed the Santee until they abandoned her, kind of like the girl who killed her father, blindly following along until she was discarded by the very system she helped promote. And now with the Santee truly out for blood, humanity needs to find a way to truly fight back against a civilization literally light years ahead of them. One idea they come up with is the Staircase Project. By using nuclear bombs, they want to propel a probe at light speed to analyze the Santee fleet. But the problem is, the probe will be going too fast for them to actually get any real information. So they come up with another idea. Instead of just sending a probe, they want to send a person. The Santee won't pass up the opportunity to actually study a real, living human. But there is also a problem with this. The Santee are 400 years away. It would take too long for a person to make that trip and survive. So they come up with the idea of freezing them. By putting them in some kind of cryostasis, they can survive the journey and relay the information back to Earth. Initially, a man named Wade, aka Sir Davos, agrees to do this so the project meant to defend against the Santee only has one head for years to come. But later they decide to use a man named Will Downing, a friend of Jen who has been in love with her for years, who also has cancer. He's a very intelligent man. Will agrees to do this, but refuses to pledge any kind of loyalty to the human race. He knows how terrible humanity can be, so why should he support them when the Santee could end up being better? And this actually makes him the perfect candidate.
He's our man because he's not our man.
The Santee can actually hear and see everything on Earth through their sophons, so the idea of a human coming to meet them that doesn't have any loyalty to the human race is an opportunity that they cannot pass up. But there is a problem. The capsule that will transport Will is small, and they can only hold a certain amount of weight. They can't send his entire body, so instead, they decide to freeze his brain and send it out in hopes that with their advanced technology, the Santee can rebuild him. But things go wrong. When Will is sent into space, one of the anchors used to transport him is broken, and he's blown off the course to meet the Santee. Now he drifts in space, neither alive or dead, but somewhere in between, frozen. But I doubt this is the end for Will Downing. They put a lot of emphasis on his character and his struggles. Though it may be unlikely that the Santee will find him, who's to say someone else won't? So far, it's been confirmed that 2 sentient and intelligent races exist. Could there be more out there? Maybe that is how humanity could really fight back against the Santee, by making some more extraterrestrial friends. But if not, there is another plan that the human race came up with. Though the Sophons seem all-powerful, being able to hack the world as a whole, see and hear every conversation and put numbers in people's heads, one ability they do not have is the ability to read minds. They do not know what we are thinking. So to capitalize on this potential weakness, 3 people are appointed as Wallfacers, people who pretty much have unrestricted access and authority over the world around them. These people are supposed to be the world's greatest minds, and they will come up with plans to defeat the Santee. But here's the catch. They can't tell anyone what their plans are. Every idea they have must stay in their head. They can't even write things down because the Santee will see everything. And I can only imagine how maddening that would have to be. Unable to tell people what you really think. Every good idea you have has to be a mental note and a mental note only. You can't even ask for a second opinion because if the idea has any merit at all, it will immediately be lost because the Santee now know about it. Saul, another one of our main characters, is named a Wallfacer for reasons he doesn't even know. He doesn't believe he's worthy of it. He's a cynic, and now having the pressure of saving the human race on his back from a highly advanced alien civilization is not what he wants. so he refuses to be a Wallfacer. But no one really takes it seriously. Even when his refusal is made public, he's almost killed by one of the Santee's human followers, because Wallfacers have to keep everything to themselves. So whatever they do, people just have to assume it's part of a larger plan. There is a double meaning to everything now. Even the truth. So Saul can say he doesn't want it all he wants. No one will take it seriously because they will just assume he has a plan in mind even when he doesn't. And honestly, I can't wait to see more of this. I know I may have skipped a few things that happened in the show with this video, but I do highly recommend checking it out for yourself to get the full experience. It was a great binge watch and I can't wait for season 2. For now though, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you thought in the comments, and I will see you all next time.